可能被打到有时给整个母女呀诶，就朋友就那些人他被母呢，母被母给呢，OK？
County. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast on a Saturday night. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Now, before we get too far ahead, just a quick gauge of how everyone's doing. Bottom deck, how you guys doing?
Good.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Back deck, how you guys doing? Let me wave it to their back deck. There we go. Oh no, top deck. Can't really see or hear you. Feel free to just tap tap with your feet. All sounds good to me as well. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name's Jacob Kerrigan, be your tour guide today. Jacob Kerrigan, actually kind of a fun name. Jacob comes from my mom. Kerrigan comes from a friend of my dad's.
Stop.
Yes, you'll notice today we will be telling you stories. We'll also be telling you jokes. So whatever you don't laugh at, it's probably a story. But if there is any fun jokes, any fun stories we do tell you, top deck, feel free to give us a little tap tap. Bottom deck, feel free to give us a little bit of a pause. Makes us feel good, keeps the jokes coming. Thank you, top deck. And I did just finish up my first year at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I'm studying mechanical engineering. Greg, not too chill, tell us a little bit more about what we need to know as we travel across the river here today.
Well, like Jacob said, my name is Laura, and I will be your pilot this evening. And a little bit about myself. This is my third year working here at Dell's Boat Tours. I started off as a tour guide, but I've been a pilot the past 2 summers now. I'm a lifetime local of the area. I have grown up here in Wisconsin. That was my whole life. So if you guys have any questions with Jacob and I would love to help you out with that. And when I'm not spending my summers out here driving boats, I do attend college, same age as Jacob. I'll be a sophomore this fall at Portland State University. That's in Portland, Oregon. And there I run on their Division I cross country and track team and majoring in applied health and fitness, minoring in climate change. Besides that, look at your tour star. We do have a few quick rules and regulations before we get too far upriver. The first being no smoking. There's absolutely no smoking on the boat. Only designated smoking areas at the end of our first stop at Witch's Gulch. And Jacob will point that out when we arrive there. Next, if you could stay seated for the duration of the tour, the General Bailey may rock and sway from time to time. We don't want anyone to fall over and get hurt. We do understand it's a sightseeing tour, so you'll have to stand up to get a better look at something or take a quick picture. That's perfectly fine. Just return to your seat as soon as you can. And lastly, if you could keep all of your loud or cell phone conversations down to a minimum. We just want to make sure everyone is able to hear the amazing tour Jacob will be sharing with you guys today. We've genuinely off to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to power their streetcars. It's now used to power about 10,000 area homes and businesses. But with that, I'll hop off the mic, hand it back over to Jacob, and tell you all about the beautiful upper dose of the Wisconsin River, and welcome aboard.
Right now, you're actually at the county junction of Adams, Columbia South and Juneau County.
Tôi trên cái lì nó chuột lót cái cho cũng như đem bộ bỏ cho bao nhiêu nó cũng như cho bao nhiêu của tự thế rong câu kia.
But if you look to the right hand side, you'll see this rock formation that kind of looks like a stack of pancakes. A rock is known as chimney rock. Kind of resembles the old stick and mortar chimneys in the early times of the pioneers. Was you rode away from the waterway for us using that beautiful shape that you see there now. Every set of twin sisters does need a set of names, so we actually call the first one Kate and the second one Duplicate. Oh, that's a good one. You know, Laura always tells me, why don't we name you Kate and Edith? And I always say, you know, Laura, you can't have your Kate and Edith too. And you're on the dance writing those jokes down now. Yeah, but if you look across the Duplicate from a left-hand side or to a right-hand side, you'll see a couple of things. You'll see this gorgeous gorge come into view. Beautiful tree canopy. Pulpit-shaped rock at the front left-hand side of that gorge. It's known as Chapel Gorge. Chapel Gorge. Actually, as the bottom to what's known as the Narrows. Now, top deck, you guys are kind of sounding a little bit lonely, so I'll be joining you up there. Bottom deck, see you guys a little bit later. How's it going up here, top deck? Fantastic. Still have everyone from all the bad jokes. That's always good to see. But like I did say, we are now entering what's known as the Narrows. Gets its name because it's incredibly narrow. In fact, in the early history of this river, it was mainly used for what's known as lumber rafting. So before there were cars, trains, railroads to transport the lumber, they tied them into rafts, shipped them out on waterways, just like the Wisconsin River. This was one of the more dangerous places to do so, however, not just because of how narrow it is, but if you take a look straight in front of us, you'll notice a 90-degree turn to the left-hand side, forming what's known as the Devil's Elbow. The Devil's Elbow. A lot of rafts would end up colliding with the shoreline to the right here. A lot of rafts were lost, and a lot of lives as well. So, made one of the first jobs on the river, known as standing river pilots. Pilots that would start upstream, hop on these lumber rafts, help them navigate through the waterways, and hop off here in the Devil's Elbow. One of these standing river pilots had been named by Leroy Gates. Leroy Gates, kind of a proud man, said he never lost a raft nor a life, always showed up to work every day with a top hat and a tuxedo on. But he actually started his very own business on the river, and he actually left us one of the first billboards as well. We're going to see that in a second here, but before we do, we are now entering what's known as the Devil's Elbow, like I said. Entering the Devil's Elbow. Some of you might notice it gets a little bit warmer. Yes. It's because it's always 90 degrees here. Wow. Always. That's one you'll be thinking about later. 90 degrees. 90 degrees here. Always 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Oh. There we go. Haha. Yeah. But as we do exit the Devil's Elbow here, like I said, Leroy Gates left us one of the first billboards on the Wisconsin River. There actually used to be a bridge right about here. He got down on that bridge, got on a hammer, chisel, and carved out. If you take a look to your 10 o'clock, you'll see this cove that goes in. If you see that lowest hanging hemlock branch, that lowest hanging pine branch, look to the left of that. You'll see an inscription on the rock there. Yep. It reads Leroy Gates, Dells and River Pilot, 1849 to 58.
Wow.
And then, like I said, Leroy Gates either left us the first billboard on the Wisconsin River or the first site of vandalism, one of the two. But either way, he started what he called to be the Dells Boat Tours. A little bit different than the boat tours you're on today. You give him 2 quarters and he will give you 2 oars. In fact, some of you might notice all these birds flying around the boat here. They're known as cliff and bank swallows. Right now, they're actually eating about twice their body weight in mosquitoes every day. Yeah, but we do like to save as many of the mosquitoes as we can. We catch and release the mosquitoes. We catch the mosquitoes and we release them to our neighbors up in Minnesota. Yes, Canyon, Coldwater Canyon. It's not a part of this tour, unfortunately, but if you are interested in going back there, we offer what's known as the Ghost Boat. The Ghost Boat. It's about an hour-long haunted house. Takes you through Coldwater Canyon. Highly recommend it if you love getting chased by a chainsaw. We got one of those coming up tonight. In fact, as soon as we get back to our home docks, you can hop on the Ghost Boat right away and come back out here if you'd like. But you can actually see into Coldwater Canyon coming up right past these concrete decks on our right-hand side now. Going past that. Are you staying there? Oh, sure. Yeah, we'll be going right past it. To our right-hand side here, you'll see this giant slab laying up against the rocks. That giant slab is known as Giant Shield. It's a natural high water marker on the river. Highest the water I've got was 4 feet above the shield back in 1938. So, people on the top deck, it's about 4 feet over your heads. Just like some of my jokes today. Second highest I ever got was back in 1993, 2010. Got to the top of the shield. Now all the narrows that we're in right now were formed about 18,000 years ago. There was what's known as Glacial Lake, Wisconsin. Just some people also call it a rocket isle. Wow. He's cool. That's but we do have 37 species of fish here on the water. Good amount of animals, birds that fly through the air. Crazy people on boats. But we also have the occasional bear that wanders through the area. So if you guys do encounter a bear during your stay in Wisconsin Dells, there's a pretty simple deterrent for you. You want to go to your local Home Depot or Menards, pick up a gallon of white outdoor acrylic paint, get yourself a 2-inch thick, stiff, bristled paintbrush. You're going to take that paintbrush and that paint. You're going to then paint a small goal line around you. Because here in Wisconsin, those bears just can't seem to cross our goal lines. Any Illinois fans with us today? Any Illinois fans? Nope, I wouldn't admit to it even. We are heading off now to Steamboat Rock. We'll be there shortly, but until the wait, not too much commentary for you guys. This time built in for you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy this gorgeous day on the river. In fact, you'll see the market coming up on our left-hand side here. When we pass by, everyone feel free to wave at them. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. To tore down, ripped down, burnt down any and all homes, buildings, businesses on the riverbanks of the river, and replanted about 150,000 trees in order to give us the nature that we see here today. According to him, no one can own the Dells, so he then passed the land down to his two daughters. His two daughters worked with the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation, made this all state protected land. That'll be on our left-hand side. It's known as Signal Point. Absolutely gorgeous place to come out here and watch the sunset. In fact, we are for what's known as the Sunset Dinner Cruise. Takes you out here on the Clipper Winnebago. You get a gorgeous steak and lobster dinner to the sound of live music and an open bar on the way up. Truly romantic experience. But it does take you to Witch's Gulch, which is where we are now heading. If you take a look straight in front of the boat, you'll notice it gets a little bit shadier, a little bit creepier. In fact, the Native Americans in the area were horrified at going back there because of paranormal ghost stories and phenomena. There was one man, however, by the name of H.H. Bennett, wasn't too scared of going back there. Took a canoe back there, thought he heard a waterfall, so he waited until winter when all the water froze over, got out some ice skates, ice picks, ice skated to the back of Witch's Gulch, and fell in love with the beauty that was back there. So much that he named it Witch's Gulch, and he named some of the other sites back there like Witch's Falls, Witch's Window, Witch's Bathtub. So if you do have any questions as to which is which, feel free to let me know. Be glad to answer that one for you. But there will be a concession stand back there. Anything you get at the concession stand, feel free to bring back on the boat. You'll also see a restroom back there. Anything you get at the restroom, please do not bring back on the boat. Learn that one the hard way. You'll also see a stop sign there. Please don't go past the stop sign, but to the right of that stop sign is a smoking area, should you need to use it. Plan on spending about 20-ish minutes here, so back to the boat leaving at 6:55 back on the boat. Boat leaves the dock at 6:55. Everyone take a look at your watches, phones. Boat leaves the dock at 6:55. Well, you do come back on the boat if you'd like to change seats. More than fine by us. But do please stay seated until we are docked. We'll give you a verbal.
Are we the last one?
Yeah, knock it off. And please. Do you want your binky? This is wicked. Yeah.
Oh, what's that noise?
It's waterfall. That's what it sounds like. Well.
You like it, baby? Oh. which nó là hai tia giờ bắt đá lúc khỏi bắt đá khỏi chơi đá đê nữa đấy còn nó which is top nữa nè bây giờ đã có cá rồi cá tốt chừng nữa đền từ lên nó nữa đền từ phần nó lò cá khó dễ bên cá khó dễ khó chua liền là hải xin thà nó cái gì từ lúc có bò trâu trâu rồi chứ tua mà tuổi thay lúc nào sẽ nên nó trâu trâu này nó chế là ấy lúc chế tụi nó thi á nè hôm năm mà hôm năm tụi nó cho là có khủng dẫn châu là ấy nhiều quèo tụi nó thế đấy nó vậy lúc tụ chế nhớ trong đời cho kỳ dễ nè bé tranh co là chị bé lợi cho bé lọt so đâu của nó tận nó chỉ lấy cho nó ô lửa tô ô lửa nói lên để chế nó nó vậy lúc tụ chế nhớ trong đời cho kỳ dễ nè bé chanh go là chị bé lấy cho bé lọt so đâu của nó tận nó chỉ lấy cho nó ô lử tôi ô lử của nó lên để chế nó cái tôi cho nó chị tôi sợ ta chỉ là không nát ta chị tôi thèn cái thế này chị là một dưới khóc là sướng nó
phải khẩn nhà mẹ ấy
ba lấy khẩn nhà mẹ
phải sướng ok cơ
các cái là
ok chỉ muốn ăn ba cái thôi
tất cả rồi
cái nọ cái là không phải là cái chui rồi
để trả lời ông mua tên nó có sao thì giờ bây giờ thủ à cần
cáiตัวจะไปสักขนาดนั้นที่เขาอะไร
tất cả lò nữa nhưng chỉ cần bỏ đi ăn mì cho đi ya dạ
If I'm not practiced, okay. Okay.
tết quần đó chỉ chua là chỉ cho ít tu nhỏ đê một khăn khó chỉ nếu qua bông nhỏ cha mẹ chỉ theo liền đó thì nó hay hành đi nó nữa ít trồng ít bông như thế đó
Vậy là cho bị chân có to để là hai đứa này cái là cho bị tự kỷ nhỏ bao giờ là to từ lúc chân hiện đại rồi chân nhỏ kỹ rồi chân nhỏ bị tông nó chơi chơi kỹ bao giờ nó都冇得to nó mấy tràn chạy tràn gì都做那家的根据就不然了就会出条。呀，没啥得给了，得给了滴滴嘢，要打太阿根了就，会出去是，那就大家人上来就还得，拉不着。那要被弄高了，哎，被弄高了，啊，你这个打了没弄高嘞？弄高要是说了，
ok cho mi phong dư ra ý để lọt sầu lên nó để cho nên sẽ đợi cho ư mù sai chuẩn gì tôi ra oเลยอย่าตอนเด่นนะว่าเจ้าอ๋อ